Hello, friends. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the FF Face Off. This is a fantasy football podcast in which we're going to discuss all things Week 14 starts, sits. You got questions? We probably have answers. Looking forward to that. I'll tell you guys, visit fffaceoff.com for all of your fantasy football, NFL, sports betting needs. Also, if you're watching on the old YouTube, we appreciate the hell out of you guys. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe. We'll have a good time with it. So there you go. And we also have a lot of great content there in terms of kickers, defenses, all the good stuff to help you out Week 14, edge you into the playoffs if you need to. Last but not least, follow the show on X at FFFaceoff. We are giving away a NFL jersey. I'll give some details on that a little bit later. That's a reason for you guys to go on to the X and get the FF Faceoff. But last but not least, my name is Michael Hoff. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. Usually I say I'm joined by somebody, but right now I'm joined by nobody. But there are people on the horizon. People are joining us. But, Zach Linton's here. So Zach's here. So thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. Love that about you. Albert's also here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Albert. How you doing? So feel free to like. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to have a good time. Feel free to fire in any questions that you may have. But yeah, so we'll start getting into some stuff here. Just taking a look at last night with the Detroit Lions. Detroit hangs on 34-31 over the Packers. Pretty interesting, I suppose. We wonder at this point, though, when are the Lions going to lose a game? Jared Goff went ahead, 283 passing yards. We saw Josh Jacobs with the rushing. We saw Christian Watson, of all people, with the receiving, which, again, this is something I went into yesterday when I was on here with Pete. There's always going to be, it's like Russian roulette with these Packers wide receivers. And, Albert says, and I do see you, Ralph, I'll get to you in a hot second, but Albert asks, what are we doing with Jaden Reed? It's the same old situation in which these Packer wide receivers, it's hard to tell who's going to pop when. One week a guy's going to be great. The next week he's not going to be so hot. So it's tough to gauge. There's never going to be true consistency. Some may be more consistent than others, but there will be letdowns. And I think Jaden Reed is the most consistent of the Packers bunch, but there are still letdowns. And Zach Linton saying, Jaden Reed fucked us. He fucked you proper. Yeah, that he did. So anyway, let's go here to Mr. Ralph here. He said Braylon Allen or Garendo this week. Big bye weeks. Yeah, bye week apocalypse. That's for damn sure. If I'm going to get into that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Isaac Garendo. This isn't I know I have a Niner hat on my head. This isn't a 49er take. This is more so a take at the Bears are pretty good against the quarterback position. So I think this is going to lend things to the Niners to have to lean on the running game. And the Bears right now are 11th in points allowed to the running back position. That would include 8 games in which they've allowed 20 or more points to the position. Over the last few weeks, too. Over the last 3 weeks. Actually, last 4. Last 5. 46.6, 14.7, 28.4, 27.4, and 26.8. So the Bears aren't going to allow a lot to quarterbacks, but they will the running backs. And I think the Niners, I said this yesterday, I think this is a big tight end game. I think this is a big running back game. So that's how I feel on that one. I like Garendo over Braylon Allen in that spot. To Black Rain, will Breece Hall play? I have Allen. All indications right now are that he's not going to play, so I wouldn't anticipate it. So I would act as if at this moment that we are not going to see Breece Hall. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. And do you think Braylon Allen is usable rest of the season PPR? I think he's usable this week. Yes, in terms of rest of the season, I think we need to see just how significant or how long this injury might keep Breece Hall out. But so I think that's something I will say, I think he's worth rostering are you starting the rest of the season? We got to see. But is he worth having, on your team? Yeah, go ahead. Have him on your team. I think, as long as Brees is out, it'll be good. Tyler's coming in, Mr. Tyler Sperry. Would you drop Reed for Alicia Moore on Thielen or roll with Reed? No. We're not dropping Reed. What we're doing is we're understanding what we've already known. And that's that the Packers wide receivers are a little bit of Russian roulette, which I mentioned earlier. Sometimes you're going to get burned. Tyler also said, or Parker Washington. No. I still hang on to Jaden Reed. I think of all the Packers wide receivers, Jaden Reed is probably going to pop more so than other ones. So that's why, no, I'm not. I get it. Last night was not good. A lot of egg on the face of people who started Jordan Reed. I was one of them in one of my leagues. But no, you don't panic and start to drop them for other lesser wide receivers. You just understand the situation that you're in. This is what you drafted. You drafted a Packers wide receiver. None of them are going to be consistent on a week-to-week basis. There's going to be, you know what it is? Perfect analogy. There's going to be landmines out there when you're starting Packers wide receivers. You're going to step on one week. It's just going to happen. Jamie's coming in. Hey, where are all your boyfriends at? Well, one of them is in the fucking studio, and he's eating something, but it's probably good. It's probably delicious. The other guys are out, commitments, wives, things, these things happen around the holiday season. But yeah, so that's where all my boyfriends are at, as you so eloquently put, Jamie. So yeah. But I've got my bourbon. I've got you, Jamie. And I've got this next question. We give up a lot of big runs. Yeah, that you do. Yeah, true story. Not going to lie there. Jeremy's coming in. Rico Dowdle, Ridley, or Nick Westbrook at the flex, half-point PPR. I'm going Rico Dowdle here. Rico Dowdle started to turn it on a little bit. He started to put up some points. So I think Rico Dowdle is where I would roll in this particular matchup. If I'm pulling this up here, that's right. They're going up against the Bengals on Monday Night Football. Yeah, I like Rico Dowdle. I like what he's done. He started to slowly separate himself from the rest of the backfield here. Not like it was a lot of stiff competition. We got a wasted Ezekiel Elliott, if whatever. But yeah, so Rico Dowdle's the answer. I do like Ridley. I like all three options, but yeah, I'm going Rico on this one. RCA is coming in. RCA, or is that like RCA, like old school, like RCA tapes, RCA TVs? Because that would be fucking cool. That's a throwback. Pete probably wasn't even born then. I say that because he's in the studio. Full point per reception. Play 1 for week 14. Tight end, Juwan Johnson, Kalantra, or Disley. I'm going to go. No, I'm not going Juwan Johnson. I actually don't like this matchup for Juwan Johnson. I'm going Will Disley here. Will Disley's going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you pull this up here, some tight end numbers for you to marinate on. Currently, as the dog barks in the background, the Chiefs are allowing more points to any other team in the NFL in terms of tight end fantasy points allowed. That would include them being one of just 3 teams with multiple games of 30-plus points allowed to the tight end position. They've had 4 games in which they've allowed 20 points or more tight ends. And over the last 3 weeks, they're allowing an average of 17.87 points to tight ends. So to me, Will Disley, I will take that. Also, keep in mind, on top of all of this that we're saying, Ladd McConkey is, I don't know if he's officially been ruled out, but he's not going to play. So that just gives him more attention to Mr. Will Disley. I expect that target share to be high. So for me, I'm going there, and I'm going there easily. RCA also coming in with another question. I will remind you guys, if you guys come in with a super chat, you guys do cut the line. So we'll answer that first. We answer questions first come, first serve, but super chats, you guys cut the line. So RCA is coming in saying full point per reception. Second question of the day. Also, week 14. We know it's week 14, man. We know that's why you're here. That's why you're asking. Marvin Harrison Jr., Jacoby Myers, or Calvin Ridley. I'm going to go with the volume of Jacoby Myers. The dog over there, I'm not sure what he wants, but he's barking. But I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers in this one. Marvin Harrison's very volatile. Calvin Ridley, I think, could be productive. But in this particular case, I'm going to go Jacoby Myers. They have a decent matchup going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that being the Las Vegas Raiders. Currently, at this point, the Buccaneers are allowing the third most points to the position. So I'd go Jacoby on this one. Ridley is the honorable mention in this one, but Marvin Harrison's the odd man out. So I would not go there. Let me see what we got here. Oh, it's Mr. Pete Nova, who could be followed at
You,
8 coming in there. What?
you fucked me up. Hold on.
How did I fuck you up?
Because my camera is laggy right now, so I needed to restart real quick.
That's my fault?
You pulled me in.
I didn't pull you in.
Okay. Well, number one, I just wanted to say this before I will leave and come back. Number one, you went live on the wrong YouTube studio. So you had NFL betting picks is what you went live. So I had to go in and change the SEO for both videos so that way Steve can go on later for under that one, because we don't get as many people that come in for best bets and picks over start sets. So that you went live under the best bets, not the start set. That's all I'm saying. That's why I was in the background.
Happy to do it.
All right, give me 1 second. You keep rolling. I'll be right back. Let me just restart my computer.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Jamie's saying, Tyler, listen to Hoff on this one. I seen you access 10 other shows, but Hoff is the man. I don't know if I'm the man. I try to be the man. I do my very best. Let me see this here. What do we got here? Jared Forden saying, Hoff, you're the man. You forgot an F, but yeah, sure, I'll be the man. With Pickens having a hammy issue, would you roll Freiermuth or Noah Gray this week? I'm assuming you mean this week and rest of the season because it says this and ROS. I would wait a little bit to see what's going on with that hamstring. I think that's something we can wait a little bit on. I'm not going to pivot off of Pickens just yet. If he can't go, then yes, or if he's limited in a significant capacity, then yes, and I would go ahead and I would go with Freiermuth over Noah Gray. I'm starting to get the sense here, and you have to remember, sometimes when we have these conversations, we're going into fantasy stats and, this team's allowed this much over the last few weeks, or this guy's done this over the last 3 weeks, or this guy does this every other fucking Wednesday when the sun sets over here. But sometimes you just have to go with your gut, and I got a feeling that this Chiefs offense, I think it's a lot like last year where they started slow. They didn't play their best, but when they started to break late at the end of the season, they leaned on Travis Kelce. So in this particular case, I would go Freiermuth in this one. But again, wait on Pickens. I think Pickens will still be okay. But yeah, keep all that in mind. Will Dissly. This is a question from Terrell T over on the YouTube. You managed to get 2 tight ends that if you go into our start sit videos, which we do for every position, I have both of these guys as starts this week. If I'm just pulling up one other thing here, I mentioned Will Dissly. I like the matchup again, going up against the Chiefs. It's always an easy way to get some points. Then we got, of course, Jake Ferguson going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. I think I'm going to slightly lean with Will Dissly in this one, only because Jake Ferguson, it sounds like he's going to play. It sounds like he's good to go, but you wonder if there's going to be a little bit of rust there. So to me, I'm going to go Will Dissly in this matchup. I have him ranked higher. Again, the Bengals have allowed a lot to quarterbacks. And Terrell, yeah, I'm seeing that's half point per reception. I'm still going to go Will Dissly in this matchup. I think this is Will Dissly's not going to hit every week, but he's going to hit this particular week. And we do have a super chat. This is coming in from our resident troll ATL, who is always very good at giving us a super chat that has nothing to do with nothing. It's very much irrelevant to week 14 and what we need to know. And ATL says, Mike, show some respect to Pete. And to which I say, fucking no. So there you go. So it's a cheers to you. I'll finish this. I show no respect. That's how I roll. I especially show no respect to you. Appreciate the super chat, though. All right, let's go back a little bit here. Let's see what we got here. Jamie's coming in full point per reception, tight end premium, 1 point for 40-plus yard catches and runs. Also, 0.25 points of first downs. Wow, that's a lot to handle there. Start Conklin, Gus Edwards, or Brandon Cooks. I wanted the Jets to do well this year. I really did. But they've shown me little to nothing that they're going to produce. So, no, I can't go that way. I'm just looking up, double checking something, which would be so much better if I had somebody else in the studio with me, but they're restarting their computer and they're doing whatever they're doing. But I would say as of right now, I would go Brandon Cooks. I think Cooper Rush is one of my, if you go to my quarterback start sit videos, he's one of my 3 starts at quarterback. And I think obviously that's going to resemble production for Brandon Cooks. So I'd go Brandon Cooks on that one. Gus Edwards is the honorable mention, but to me, Brandon Cooks would be the play there. IP14 coming in here, and he's saying full point per reception, 2 of 3. Braylon Allen, BTJ, which again sounds too much like BTK, kind of worries me, the old serial killer, and Juwan Jennings. If I got to pick 2 out of 3, I'm going to go Braylon Allen because the expectation is that Breece Hall will not play, and I'm going to go Juwan Jennings. I think Juwan Jennings will get some production in the passing game. I'm worried about BTJ. I'm worried about the quarterback position. I'm worried about how that's going to shake out. And I got Pete Nova. And Jesus, now I got Matt. So, wow. All right. You fine fellas, introduce yourselves while I take a break from talking.
I don't need to introduce myself, but Matt, feel free.
Oh, whoa.
So smart. Shit.
I know,
Coming in hot.
Hey, my name's Matt. I'm one of the FF mediators. Proud to be here with the boys. So that's all you got to know. I'm ready to get started.
Look at that. There we go. See? Nice and easy.
Yeah. Pete, you could take over the questions.
I am just linking the mediators Twitter, my Twitter, making sure we're all live and good to go.
I'll pull this up, and then after that it's after the super chat from ATL, which I already pulled up. He told me to stop disrespecting you, and I told him no. So there you go.
Good man.
That guy would lay on a sword for you, dude.
ATL, man, dude. It's a good guy.
He is. Anyway. Jamie said, just reminding everyone, the FF Faceoff does continue their podcast in the offseason. If you want to win, just got to tune in. God bless you, Jamie. And that's true. We do that. We got some big plans for the offseason. We got some meetings planned up. We're going to schedule everything nice and good. The mediators are going to bring out a lot of dynasty content when we talk about the draft coming up in April. So, season never ends for us. We just keep on cooking. So, tune in. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah. All right. So you're at Jamie's. Did you get the last super chats from ATL? I'll flash this one up. Obviously, show a little respect. He said, start sit PPR, Jerome Ford or Abdullah. This is pretty disgusting.
This is gross.
How are you in this situation?
Is this in our home league, ATL? Is that what you're asking at?
I guess the question, do we believe that they're going to provide Ford more touches? Because it almost looked like Nick Chubb got benched last week. On the flip side, I do like Sincere McCormick. He has a good matchup. I don't think Abdullah is just going away, but I think he's upside his cap. So I think I would go with Jerome Ford.
So would I.
In this matchup, yeah. Matt?
I mean, does the Pittsburgh matchup scare you at all in this situation, though?
I mean, it definitely does, but I think my thing is I just want the guy that's probably going to get the most touches here.
Yep.
That's fair.
We got the volume.
I think I might go the other way. I don't know. I think either way, it's not the best situation. Tampa Bay, a little better matchup. You're splitting carries anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say Abdullah. I think if I didn't see Ford do what he did last week, where it seemed like they gave him more touches in the second half, I would easily say Abdullah. But I just feel like maybe there's a chance that they start getting him more involved. All right. So you answered. Where was the last one that you left off at? Because I know you pulled. What was the last question?
I pulled Jamie's. I pulled Jamie's question, and then that was the first super chat. No, I pulled that one. No. This was the last one I pulled, that one.
Okay, so you didn't pull this one, though, correct? Because
I pulled that too.
Okay, so you got Terrell, the Disley and Ferg, all that.
I pulled everything before it.
Okay, cool. All right, so then let's go to Ralph. Ralph said, should I bench CeeDee Lamb for week 14? You better have a good option. I mean, I know that there's a worry about his health, but we've seen when he's on the field, when Cooper Rush is the quarterback, he's good for 8 to 10 targets. Will he score a touchdown? Probably not. But we know the volume will be there if he's on the field. So I'm probably not comfortable benching Lamb unless you have like maybe if it's Braylon Allen and Hall's out, maybe I could be swayed, but I'm probably starting Lamb.
Same.
You guys?
Yeah, same for me. I mean, unless you got a better option, then I'm rolling with Lamb. Just the guaranteed targets, I'll take it.
It's one of those things, Ralph, where it's context is key. So if you got more on that, definitely, like other guys you'd play instead of CD, then let us know and we'll give you a better idea. But yeah, I would still play him.
Yeah. All right. Shadows is wicked. I like the profile picture.
Yeah, he was here yesterday.
He was. Yeah. Said pick 2, 1 running back, 1 flex. Westbrook Akine, Braylon Allen, Rico Dowdle, Rashad White, thanks in advance. So I think Bucky Irving is going to play. This year has been really weird with injuries. A lot of times guys don't practice on Wednesday and Thursday. They log a limited practice Friday and then they play on Sunday. I think both of these guys are going to play. The Bucks are playing to make the playoffs right now. So I think he's going to play. With that said, I have Rashad White. I have Rico ahead of Rashad White in my rankings this week, and I think I have Braylon ahead of Rashad White as well. So I would go with Braylon Allen and Rico here. You guys?
I'm the exact same.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I would go the same. I mean, Nick Westbrook he's probably going to get a touchdown somewhere at some point because that's just what he does.
2 targets, 1 touchdown.
Wakes up, showers, scores a touchdown, goes back to bed. But yeah. Same answer.
Yeah. All right. And then we got Daniel Maldonado. Love that last name. Said hello from Mexico. Who should I start? Ingram, Ferguson, Disley, and Shakir or Allen? And a couple hello waves. I'm going to go with Disley here. Ingram has been inconsistent. Ferguson has been okay. Disley, I totally get it. Did not have a good week last week, but you have Lad McConkey out and you have a Chiefs team who just gave up over 100 yards to Brock Bowers and has been the worst defense to tight ends this year. So I prefer Disley in that situation. You guys?
Yeah, I had answered something similar earlier. I am in line with you as well. I would also go with Disley. Chiefs are allowing more points to tight ends than any other position of football, than any other team of football. I'm sorry. That would include, again, multiple games with 30-plus points, 4 games with 20-plus points allowed, and 7 games with plus 10 points allowed. They are one of, let me see this, 1, 2, 3. They're one of 3 teams to have 0 games with less than 5 points allowed to tight ends. I will take those odds. I will take Will Disley.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm going Disley too. I mean, you mentioned it already. The Chiefs are giving up a ton of fancy points to tight ends. 4th easiest matchup as far as it goes for tight ends. So I'll roll with Disley there, but I do think Ingram might be a sneaky start just because of volume.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that for sure. And then Shakir or Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has been heating up as of late, guys. I know he got hurt in the game. Ton of involvement. He did get his knee banged up, but he goes up against a pretty favorable matchup. Shakir also gets the Rams secondary. Do we know if Keon Coleman is playing?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I thought he was out, but
I saw
still questionable.
Okay, and I saw Kincaid
and
I saw Kincaid also got the non-contact jersey taken off. I'm gonna go with Keenan Allen, who's been hot. It seems like Caleb and him are growing in that connection, and it looks like DJ Moore and Swift might not play this week. So I actually would go with Keenan Allen here.
Yeah, I'd probably go Keenan Allen as well. I'm just looking over some stuff here. Niners have started to give up quite a few points to the wide receiver position. You look at the last, let me see this. They have 53.7, 7.1, 42.7, 27.9. Last week, 19.6. They're their injuries are starting to show. The warts are starting to show here on the Niners. It's like vultures just picking at them. So, yeah, I agree. I would
Yeah, I wish I could disagree, but I can't. I'm going with Keenan Allen as well.
Okay. By the way, Lad McConkey, knee and shoulder injury, limited participant in practice today, by the way. So that's good news for his possible availability.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if Lad plays, it is risky. I mean, he seems like he's a lot of games he's played banged up. I do worry that maybe he re-injures it. He's a small guy and gets a lot of targets. So we'll see. We'll monitor that. And then I don't even know how to pronounce this one, but GD said Aiden O'Connell for MVP. Sure, in an alternate universe.
Yeah. Maybe if you're a family friend of Aiden O'Connell, sure. Yeah.
Family friend.
Jared Forden said, "What are your thoughts on Breece Hall? Is he gonna sit rest of the season? They have nothing to play for."
It's all speculation.
I am worried. I am worried.
Sure. I think there's reason to be worried, but I also don't think we can give him any kind of definitive answer. I think we could just give our opinion.
Yeah, it's 100% opinion. Opinion. I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of things going around on Twitter today. If you're a part of the Reddit fantasy football group, there was somebody in there that posted that apparently their friend, and this is all hearsay, is a doctor at a hospital, and he saw Breece Hall going into the MRI machine in the hospital. And then, their Jets reporter an hour later said that he had returned. There was no sighting of Breece Hall, and then he returned into practice later on, and he was off to the side with the other injured players. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying the whole thing's weird. I don't know.
I would tell you to act like he's not going to play the rest of the season, but I would say I can't give you a definitive answer. That's the best way to put it.
So let me ask you guys this. Now, I was asked this on Twitter.
I got to be careful because if I pick the wrong thing and if somebody loses, then I'm on the hook for it, right, Pete?
That is true. Trust me, I'm sweating out my defensive picks. I keep telling people go Cardinals over Saints and the Titans this week.
I love
it fucking worries the fuck out of me because ECR has them at 9 and I have them at 3rd.
I will say before you move on to the next question, it's very funny. You've taken on defense. I've taken on kickers. I have never stressed harder about kickers on a week-to-week basis than I have, last few weeks. My God.
I mean, I don't mean to put more pressure on this, but I picked
this shit now.
I made claims off both of your videos. So if I lose, I'm going to be really mad at both of you. Not
Who'd
the
you
players,
pick up?
not the
Your kicker.
Let me look. It's on Yahoo. At first, I had Romo, but then all that happened.
Yeah.
So I think I went Falk. Yeah, I went Falk.
I like Falk. He's sneaky. Playoff matchups are sneaky too.
Yeah, it's a must-win for me.
Would you trade Jacoby? Would you trade Breece Hall for Jacoby Myers and Gus Edwards with Vidal attached in redraft right now?
No.
Somebody on Twitter asked me this.
In redraft?
I said, yes. And he said he might not make the playoffs. He needs to win this week. And I said, look, I think you might be able to get better, but Breece Hall could also be put on IR in 2 days. We have no idea.
If you're doing what you have to do to win, I'm never going to fault someone. Like, if you got to buy a win, you do what you got to do.
I kind of agreed. I said I think you could get better, but at the same token, some people might not want him. The fact that they're even allowed to trade at this point in the season is kind of crazy and redraft.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little nutty. Listen, you know your league better than most, but I would personally, I think you can get more. So I would personally just put it out there and just be like to the league, send out a group text. Hey, This guy's available. You want him, come get him. Now, if you know your league chat better than I do, which you probably do, and if you think that that's going to be denied big time, or if you think that's going to piss off the guy you're trying to trade with so you can't get a deal done, then don't do it. But that's fucking...
Well, you also run the risk. You also run the risk of people saying, "Oh, he's saying things like, why would I want him this?" And then the guy that you may have a trade with gets cold feet and says, "What? Wow, I guess I'm the only idiot that
Say
ever."
don't go that route. Period.
You know. So, but all right. So Jared Fortin said,
"Wait, what did he say? What did he say? How many beers can? Oh, I could.
I would hope more than 2.5.
Okay, I'll make that happen. Let me get my daughters up here to get me beers."
Jared said, "Rest
Emma,
Keon Coleman or Braylon.
Come hither."
Give me Braylon Allen at this point, just because of the potential upside. Because the schedule is really good for the Jets, and I totally understand we don't know yet for Breece Hall, but you could strike gold, and we don't know what's going to happen with Keon Coleman at this point. I mean, is he going to be a top 24 receiver? No, Braylon Allen could be a top 20 running back rest of the season,
from the fridge,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
and
I
the drop off
upside play.
Well, I was going to say the drop.
That's the upside play.
Yeah, I mean the drop off between the difference between the running back 20 and the wide receiver 24 is a decent difference. It's harder to find running backs on a week-to-week basis than it is to find a wide receiver.
Right? Yeah, we're going Braylon Allen here, right? I'm sorry, I was a little preoccupied, but I'm going Braylon Allen there.
All right, Smitty said, "Do or die this week." Tight end PPR: Hawkinson, Otten, Ferg.
Are you well?
Do you want to wave hi? Just wave your hand.
Hello.
What's going on?
She doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Are you feeling well?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, sweetheart. Love you. All right, have fun. You're the best.
All right. All right. Hawkinson.
All right, family content. What do you want from me?
No, it's great. It's great. My niece showed up on the show last week too. So, Hawkinson, Otten, Ferg, pick one PPR, and then Amari Cooper, Debo, Devonta, Gus, Warren, or one of those tight ends. So I guess we have to pick one out of those players or one of the tight ends, and then also pick one tight end. I like Hawkinson this week. I do.
You know, the thing I keep kind of having struggled with here is I like Otten. I know Otten's kind of screwed us. He did have a tough matchup against the Giants, but last week he had a plus matchup, didn't produce. I still want to bet on him to hit this week in particular. So Otten is one of my picks. Now, what is this? We're picking tight end PPR.
Pick one tight end, and then would you play any of the other tight ends over any of these guys? And because he needs to pick one out of those guys as well.
I think I would. I think Otten and Ferguson would be my two tight end plays.
I would go Amari Cooper and Hawk or Otten. I like Amari Cooper a lot this week against the Rams.
Yeah, I'm Amari, but I'm Otten. I like Otten with taking on the Raiders. They give a bunch of points to tight ends as well too. I think Otten gets back on the right track this week as far as it goes for Amari. I feel like it's got to connect at some point, right?
Yeah. So I'm with you guys. I'd go with Otten as well. You've swayed my feelings. So, all right, let's move on here. Michael Lewis said Tua or Mahomes. I'm going with Tua this week, guys. Tua, no Sauce Gardner. Miami's offense in Miami is always much better, and they're fully healthy on that offense side of the ball, and they've clicked. I mean, it was a little weird last week. I mean, we know how they are in the cold, but they've been really good in Miami the last month. So give me Tua.
Yeah, normally I would have gone the other way, but yeah, with Sauce likely being out, yeah, I'll go Tua.
Going Tua as well.
All right.
Tua only has, by the way, last 4 games against Jets, Tua only has 1 game with 20 fantasy points. But he might get one now this week.
I mean, this is do or die for them this week if they want to make the playoffs. So, and they just got their shit kicked in after Tua said they want to extinguish the narratives about them playing in the cold. So I just Chargers are a tough matchup too, man. And not for nothing, like Mahomes has been good, but I mean, look what they did against the Raiders last week. And this is a divisional matchup as well, So Dub Nation said need one for flex. Mooney, Addison, Westbrook, Akine, Elijah Moore, or Kenneth Walker. I don't know if Kenneth Walker is playing this week, guys. It seems like there's a possibility
he is.
he's out. Yeah,
Westbrook,
like he might be out.
Akine. I'm gonna ride the lightning.
Matt, what do you think?
I'm leaning Mooney, but I'm pulling up Addison really quick because I'm just curious. Who do they have this week again? They've got the.
I will just say as
Falcons.
Yeah, sorry. As Matt pulls that up, I will just say Addison was my second in terms of picks, but yeah.
I like Addison. If Walker plays, I'm playing Walker. I'm just gonna put that out there. But if he's out, I'm playing Addison. Walker, ankle and a calf injury, non-participant today on Friday. You don't like to see a non-participant on a Friday. Now, again, injury reports have been weird this year, but I'm going to assume he's not playing, which is good for my defensive pick with Arizona. That helps. And I was actually able to pick up Charbonnet in a league yesterday when I saw this news. I was surprised he was out there.
Is your wife going to find you, your fiance, going to find you pacing in the backyard tonight, talking about your defensive picks out loud?
No, but I am ready to have people just annihilate me for getting this wrong because I have told so many people not like the Saints and the Titans feel like obvious starts this week. I get it. And I have them ranked high, but the stats are there for Arizona and they're home. Like and Seattle's look so fucking
I'm actually waiting on you to annihilate me.
No, I think your kicks are fine.
Wow.
I think I picked licking. I said licking. I stayed with Bates last night. That was the only thing I stuck with. I was going to change him in one league for the Vikings kicker, but I stuck with Bates. But I picked up the Vikings kicker everywhere else. You got 11 for me. I mean, 4 extra points, 2 field goals. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Were you going to say something else on this or?
Nah, we're good. Yeah. I didn't see what I was looking for.
Okay. And by the way, DK Metcalf also a non-participant today.
YouTube style. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Go
on. Ralph said, thanks. One more. Sit one, Hubbard or Tracy. I'm sitting Hubbard this week.
Yeah,
me too.
Same.
Okay. Alicia, what's going on? Said Hall is D for doubtful. Irving is Q for questionable. BYEMAGEDDON. I might need an RB2. Charbonnet, Allen, Homer, Edwards. What do I do? So Homer's interesting because keep in mind, for those that don't know, Swift is questionable, and I don't know if Roshan Johnson has practiced either this week. I think Irving is playing, but I'm starting Charbonnet most likely, even if Walker plays. I would start him over Hall if Hall's out.
Roshan has been ruled out.
Roshan's out.
Anything for you?
I mean, it's Travis Homer. Like, I mean, fuck, man. Like, we might be looking back at this and say Travis Homer was a fucking a weekly winner for people and got people into the playoffs. It wouldn't shock me the way this year has gone. I still got to go Charbonnet, who's just he's looked good. Yeah, give me Charbonnet.
Yeah,
Hoff,
Matt.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm just going to monitor the injury reports. Pick probably between Charb and Allen. Just see what happens.
Oh, Allen. Oh, that's Braylon Allen. Oh,
that's what I assumed. I could be wrong.
No, yeah, it is. I don't know why I missed that. I did miss that. Okay. Yeah, I would go with Allen over Charbonnet. But I think Bucky's going to play. So.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Okay.
The king.
Yeah.
The king, baby. The king. We couldn't miss sneaking him in. I have Bucky, I think, as my RB5 this week. 5 or 6.
Love it.
It might be a little too
low.
But
too low.
I have Chase Brown as my RB3 this week too. That might be a little too fucking high.
Matt's got a trapper keeper with
Matt,
Bucky Early's name
Matt,
written all over it.
listen, Matt
Yeah.
does not like Chase Brown at all.
I don't.
Do you want to talk about it, Matt? You want to talk about
He's going to get replaced. I truly believe that he's going to get replaced.
Yes. But for this year,
For this year, he's
year.
going to be inefficient and he's going to catch a bunch of balls out of the backfield, and that's wonderful. But I'm not a believer at all.
Matt, you're a wonderful guy. I love you, but I just found out that we disagree on something. It's rather upsetting.
I do think they're gonna bring somebody else in next year for sure, though.
They will. They will.
They'll probably split. I mean, they know that this is not sustainable. The amount of time.
I'm just talking about in terms of this season.
Yeah, this year.
Of the way. Yeah, but next year.
This year I won't deny it. This year he's going to get the volume. He's going to get a bunch of targets.
Okay.
Of all time.
Right. We're good.
I'm fine with him this year.
Yeah. All right. We're cool. We're cool.
All
that shit Pete said about you is not true.
Access. Well, once we get to, we don't want to bring it up.
He's backing off. He's backing off.
I'm not doing it today. Not today. All right. Access MIA said quarterback start Wilson, Winston, Caleb Williams. Running back start Edwards or Charbonnet. Thank you. Comfortably Caleb Williams for me. And I would start Charbonnet over Gus Edwards.
I'd start Charbonnet over Edwards, but in terms of quarterback, I think I go Caleb Williams.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, I think I go Caleb Williams. Yeah, that's what I'm rolling with. I'm saying I don't love either matchup. It would be between Winston and Williams, but yeah, I'd probably go Williams.
Complete agreement here too.
Wow, you guys are just giving us layups tonight. Look at that. But if you saw what I answered for everybody yesterday with Jaden Reed, and we thought that was a layup too. So,
here we go.
Yeah. Me and you last night, we told a lot of people Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
We do have another super chat. I'll pull that one up in just a second. I don't really want to answer that one, but we will. Michael Lewis. Yeah, I know. Brandon Cooks or Darnell Mooney. This is actually closer than some might think. I'll throw it out there and say Brandon Cooks against the Bengals. He's looked good since he's been back. Darnell Mooney gets a solid matchup. Vikings are very favorable, but he just hasn't looked great. And I don't know. Something's screaming Brandon Cooks for me. So, and if Lamb is banged up, who knows? I mean, Cooks could get peppered.
That's why I would go Cooks. And by the way, I will just say before we kick it to Matt, Pete, this is my these are my DFS darlings. These are my not DFS. I'm sorry, my best ball table scraps.
Love this guy.
Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney, so many shares. But yeah, no, seriously, I would go Brandon Cooks. The whole thing with CD Lamb, I think that's something, and I think there's going to be. I think Monday Night Football is going to be a lot of offensive production. So, yeah, give me Brandon Cooks here. Matt,
I would love a shootout on Monday. That's for sure. But for me,
I'm
going to go.
He's going Mooney.
I'm going with Mooney. Mooney's been a big player for me this year. He's made a lot of plays. I think a lot of last week falls on Kirk. I mean, that was a rough game, guys. He looked awful. I'm thinking the Falcons are going to bounce back this week against the Vikings. So give me Mooney.
I want to bring something up before we go on to the next question. I want to ask Pete something. And this is this is me being a dick. This is actually a serious conversation. But you talked about how the Falcons were basically. I'm putting words in your mouth, so you can phrase it how you want. But you put it up saying Falcons are basically kind of negligent in terms of giving Cousins the money that they did, drafting Penix. I'm curious as to, and I get it. It's 1 week. It's last week, but.
And it's been a few weeks.
So I'm saying, does your opinion kind of change on that? Like, are the Falcons maybe not as whatever? Like,
okay,
it might not be the worst thing that they got Penix.
Listen, here's what I will say. Okay,
yeah, good. That's not me being a dick either.
No,
I was
No.
genuinely wanting to know your answer.
No, listen.
Yeah.
You number one, it was wrong process. Okay, that's my thing. Penix, good quarterback. People think that when we had those takes early on in the offseason, it was that I didn't like Penix. It has nothing to do with Penix's ability. There were rumors that they were getting calls to move back 2 draft spots. They would still have been able to get Penix. Like they could have traded back, got some they didn't need to take him there. That's number one. Number two, yes. I mean, it's like the Russell Wilson thing. Like you cut bait. Sometimes it's hard, but I mean, if you truly think that Cousins is washed, you made a mistake. I get it sounds easy to just say it, but they drafted Penix. Okay, so clearly they see something in him, and if they really think that they can move to a rookie quarterback this late in the season and he's going to save them, then fine. But you're also running the risk of putting a guy out there this late into the season with pressure on him to say, hey, go save our season, and he's a rookie, So to me, that's what I would say. But to answer your question, if Penix could work out and be fine, that still to me doesn't justify what they did, because somewhere along the lines, if they liked Penix based on the process, the combine was in February. The free agency was in March. They saw Penix before they saw Kirk Cousins. So why would they give Kirk Cousins that kind of deal, knowing their draft position, knowing that they could take him there? That's my issue with it, because to me, you have a contender. You signed Cousins. That's a win now move. And instead of helping your team win now, when they could have taken any defensive player on the board and their defense is terrible, they could have took anybody. Okay, they're last in pressures. They can't get any sacks this year. If you thought you were a win now team, why would you not draft a player to help you win now? That was my issue then, and we don't need to spin this off into that. But I'm just that I don't know if that answers your question. And Matt might think differently too. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's just how I feel.
I actually have a funny thing that'll make me laugh out loud. Probably make you laugh out loud, Pete. And then Matt, you could respond. I found a way. As per your text to our group chat earlier this morning, I found a way to equate this to the 49ers.
Yes. With Brock Purdy. Yes, I know.
No, but I'm saying in terms of when the Niners traded all those assets to get Trey Lance. It's what are you doing?
Ate it. They ate
what are you doing? Right. Yeah. You ate it and you survived. And the Falcons, while yes, they're not going to an NFC championship, but they'll survive this. But
they were 6-4 a couple weeks ago. This team it just been bad the last week. I want to know what Matt thinks, because he seems like I'm getting the vibe that you think opposite here.
Not necessarily. I mean, I was told earlier that the Falcons were broke. They were broke by a certain team. I don't know. Well, we can talk about that another time. But for me, I do think what you're saying is true. That they made a really high investment into Kirk. And then they drafted Penix super high too. And in the NFL, if you can move back even one pick and you net an asset, that's a good deal. If you could still get your guy. Now, I don't know if somebody would have jumped up taken him and that was their fear. I do think the defensive draft class is part of the reason too, because it wasn't the best class. I mean, hindsight's 2020. Jared Versus had a really good season. So I think he would look pretty good on this defensive line right now. But as far as for me, I think it kind of falls into what we were talking about on Wednesday with Hoff of we're kind of seeing it revert back to before when we draft these quarterbacks and they would sit. Because I think there's a lot of benefit from a guy like Penix learning from Kirk Cousins. As much as we clown him, as much as we say he can't win in primetime, I think he's still a knowledgeable quarterback that understands the game, and he can help Penix fall into that. So for me, I'm sure it's a little bit too much of an investment, but for the most part, I'm with you, despite how I'm having my facial expressions.
Well, I'm looking at the draft board. So they took him at 8. It was the Bears, actually. It was the Bears who were picking at 9. They would move back one spot. We knew the Bears weren't taking another quarterback, so they realistically could have traded back one spot and got their guy. Now, the last thing I'll say on this, and then we'll get back to the questions. The last thing I would say about this is to me, you know, you look at how old Penix is, and I don't like to use age, right, as a Bo Nix believer, but my thing was Penix is 20, I think 4, right? And
24.
you were looking at him as a guy that was going to sit behind Cousins for possibly 2 years, most likely. I mean, Cousins' deal is, you could probably get out after 3, but based on where you signed him, you're looking at this year and probably next year, right? Based on the grand scheme of things, if you're trying to win now, right? So Penix would be 26, 27 by the time he would start. He's going into his first year as a starter in year 3. Now, mind you, at that point, Penix doesn't have a good year. You pretty much only probably give him 1 year to show it, or you're probably redoing and drafting a quarterback the next year. So you're taking 3 years to find out about a guy, 2 years, then you play him for the year 3. And then there's a good chance that the GM and the head coach, after 3 years, if it's not working out, they're probably all gone and they're probably redrafting a quarterback. So that was the other end of the, my rant and reasoning as to the Penix situation and why I just truly didn't understand it.
But
Cousins wasn't a bridge quarterback.
No, yes.
It wasn't Winston. It wasn't a 1-year deal.
Right. But your success story is Love.
Yeah.
That's the flip side of it.
I know.
Love's 26, so his first true year starting was last year, right? So he would have been 25.
Last year, but the year before he got some more reps under his belt, though.
If I could and then, I'm sorry, Matt, what'd you get?
No, please. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Pete, you can pick whatever you want. Just made me laugh out loud. It's not true, but while you were talking, Tron Forrest came in and said Bo Nix is like 37. He's not 37.
He's
24.
He's 8 months older than Jaden Daniels. It drives me fucking crazy.
It just made me laugh out loud. Yeah. Like he's not 37.
That's all good.
Bo Nix, hey, listen.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We got people waiting. The Penix conversation should never happen. I don't even want to talk about Nix. We've talked about him too much.
I was just going to simply say the Broncos are in a great spot. That's all.
That's
all I was going to say.
They are, and that's an example. That's an example of a team that they made a mistake with Russ, and they ate the contract, and it worked out, right? Like whatever, right? Could happen with the Falcons too. I mean, they eat the money with Cousins, and they figure it out. Whatever, like it could work out, right? Yeah. I mean, so. I will pull this up, but we won't spend much time on it because we just spun off into the conversation of Penix.
I know why you're not going to spend time on
ATL said, Pete, where do you think Soto signs? Yes, I think he goes to the Mets. I hope it does not happen. As a Phillies fan, Hoff as a Mets fan. I don't know, Matt. Are you
Matt? Say
not
the
a baseball
Mets
person.
I'll kill you. God damn it, Matt!
The Mets, damn it, the Mets.
Yeah. No, I'll just quickly say this. I just think that for some reason it seems like Steve Cohen has a hard-on for Juan Soto as opposed to any other player since he's been owner. So I think he gets him. He's going to spend a fucking ton. But
by the way, we forgot about our background that I made yesterday. Put that back up. Yeah?
Jeez. What are we doing?
All right, KJ Frederick.
I blame it on Matt.
KJ,
I'm just sitting here. I have a baseball question, but I'm saving it. I'll ask you guys later.
All right, ask us later. KJ said, "What's up, everyone? Braylon Allen or Sincere?" I like Sincere this week, but I'm going with Braylon Allen against Miami.
Same, KJ. Same.
Does your answer change if Hall plays?
Yes, absolutely. I would go with Sincere if Hall plays.
But I don't think Hall's going to play at this point. Yeah. I mean, Matt, do you think Hall plays at this point or no?
I'm going to have to consult the Reddit doctor that saw him in the MRI room. So let me get back to my sources.
Very important. Never mind.
Oh, gosh. Alicia said, hit that like button, folks. Yes. Thank you so much, Alicia, for being here. KJ Frederick said, happy I rostered last week. Braylon Allen off waivers. Yes. Jared Fortin said, this is a family show. Oh, sometimes it is. I guess that was off starter. I think that's when he was, that was a question that came in a little while ago.
She's downstairs, but she's great.
Bang Bang Niner Game J Gang
Bang
JNW
bang Niner
85.
gang, not bang bang Niner game. Fuck's sake, Pete. God
Brees is
damn it.
out. JT is on a bye, thinking
Jesus.
about
Yeah.
taking a long
No.
shot on Izzy. Think he's got a good chance to take over Niners backfield. I will say this: do not let your fandom in the Niners fool you into starting Izzy until we see something with him. There has to be somebody better you can play this
Wait a
week
minute.
before you roll him out in your lineup.
Oh, Izzy, yes. Izzy, yes. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
no, not at all. Not at all.
I liked him coming out of college. I liked him on the Jets. I thought
No.
but I mean, I would start Travis Homer over Izzy at this rate.
Yeah, no.
Matt,
no.
do you
You're
feel
not starting
different?
Izzy. No.
Find something else. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
No, you're not doing that, man.
Jared Fortin said in my other league, Allen not available. Looking for running back depth: Vidal, McCormick, Davis, or Patrick Taylor. It's PPR. Give me McCormick. He's looked
Yeah,
good.
give me McCormick too.
Sincerely,
Vidal would be my honorable mention, but yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
Mike. Go ahead, man. What do you got?
no McCormick. Yeah.
Ash said Murray or Purdy this week. This is tough.
Purdy.
I'm gonna go with Murray. I'm going with Murray. I'm going with Murray.
I'm going Purdy only because, and Pete, you and I kind
know
of
we talked about
discussed on what?
Hmm.
What? What'd you
I
say?
know we talked about it. That's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, I think this matchup between the Seahawks and the Cardinals is not going to be great for quarterbacks. So,
yeah,
give me Brock Purdy. Not by
Okay.
much,
Yeah.
but give me Brock Purdy.
I don't think I want to play Purdy. I mean, struggled taking on the Bears.
Matt,
I'm gonna
you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna roll with Murray here. I am.
He did
Give me
say
the
it's
rushing
6.
upside.
He did say it's 6-point passing touchdown though. Does that change your opinion? It's still it doesn't
Mine.
change much for me.
Mine or Matt's?
Nah.
Matt, I was talking to Matt.
I'm sticking with Murray.
Yep, me too. All right. Jared said Hoff answered this. What are your thoughts, Matt and Pete, this week? Rest of the
Yeah,
season?
he answered. He
Yeah.
put it full later. Yeah.
Manny said, assuming Brees and Kenneth Walker are out, start 2. Connor, Charbonnet, and Braylon. I'm going to start Connor, and I'm going to start Braylon.
Same.
Arizona's run defense has been good.
Yep.
Okay. The Smitty said DK or Cup this week. Give me Cup against the Bills.
Same again.
I'm going to go with Cup too, but I do have a quick question for you guys. If you're in a dynasty league, you're contending, what would you pay for Cup? Curious. This is for me and Coach.
If I was contending, I would still pay a late first for Cup. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe you get a kickback. You can get someone to throw a third back to you. But I'd be fine paying a late first for Cup. He's looked good this year when he's healthy. So I don't see the fall off that some other people do.
I would have gone for the second, but I could be talked into, like Pete was saying, the first. But I would automatically go second.
Yeah.
Are you guys making a deal, or are you trying to trade for him?
We got offered a deal for a late first. We're contending. We're the 2 seed.
Yeah,
but
late verses, and
But
I mean,
I'm with
you
you.
have depth.
I don't feel great about it. Yeah, we've got pretty good depth. Unfortunately, Jaden Reed killed us this week, but we'll survive.
I mean, by the way, while I say second round, like late first, like I'm not walking away from the table. Like I'm still talking.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
My thing would be, could you? I mean, are you going to be heartbroken if you get a second for Cup once the season's over, and you could have got a late first? I mean, if you really you're not rebuilding. I mean, to me, I with the way Jaden Reed's playing, Cup's been on fire for fantasy. Like I mean, I would ride with him. Go win a championship. Don't worry about next year. That'd be my advice.
Right on. Always playing to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's always moves to be made, but all right. Adam said start 2: Cup, DJ Moore, Bucky, Jonnu, or Westbrook. I'm gonna go with Cup and Bucky here in this scenario. And if Bucky is out, I would go with Jonnu.
Agreed.
Bucky, Cup, Jonnu.
There you go. Look at that. You guys are making it too easy for us. Adam said also start 2: Swift, Rashad White, Braylon, or Garendo. Swift actually has a good matchup against the 49ers, but I think Bosa's out, Hoff. Is he looking like he's out?
It's
looks
pretty
like
much official. Yeah, I would go Swift and I'd go Garendo.
yeah. I would go with Braylon and I would go with Garendo.
Garindo and Braylon.
If Hall, obviously. If Hall is in, I would go with Rashad White actually over Swift though.
Yeah, me too.
So we at least disagreed on that one. We've been in agreement a lot lately. So
Found something.
yeah. Jay Park, Garrett Wilson, Addison, or Shakir.
I
I'll let
mean, the
you guys
volume
answer that.
alone, you have to play Wilson, right? That's where my head goes. It's like
You
I'm
don't
a little
fucking you don't
fearful.
fucking have to. I mean, you could. You don't have to.
I know Hoff's gonna say no, not to start Garrett. I know that.
Oh, are you going Addison?
I'm looking at something. Good, Matt. What do you got?
Yeah, give us
I think for
give
me-
us your take.
I'm
No,
going with.
I
I'm
wanna
going with
hear it.
Wilson.
Okay.
I'm going with Wilson. I think that he's the young guy. He's got a lot of involvement. I mean, you can't complain about the targets he's getting every single week. Has it manifested as something every single week? No, not necessarily. But I'm going to take the shot that he gets that 25-point week that he's been able to do. I mean, Shakir's capped. Addison certainly can make the big plays, but JJ's been a little bit quiet here recently, so I kind of am hoping JJ's going to go off for me in the playoffs.
Listen,
I'm going with Garrett as well.
no disrespect to either of you. I get it. In terms of talking about Wilson, Pete, you nailed me dead to rights. I can't endorse a Jets skilled position player right now. I can't. So I'm going to go Jordan Addison. And Matt, you kind of alluded to this. There is that big playability. So, and going up against the Falcons, and I love Sam Darnold this week. So I'm going to go Jordan Addison. And I will take, even though nobody ever pays these out, I will take a pizza bet if you want.
Well, we're gonna eventually pay him out. Here's what I would say about Addison. He's
I'll take it. Do you want to do it or no?
yeah, I'll do it. Garrett Wilson. I'll take it. I'll take Garrett Wilson.
Matt?
Make it 2 pizzas. You're going to be buying 2. I feel it.
Elio's pizzas though. We do have a super chat from Rashik. We'll close this question out. I do want to mention though, Garrett Wilson volume wise, 10, 8, 6, 10, 8, 9, 10, 23 targets. He's had under 8 targets one time since week 2. So volume is king. And I want him in my lineup. It's risky. I get it, but at least you know that the opportunities will be there. I can live with that. All right. Rashik with a $2 super said Nikini, Westbrook, Shakir. Do we still play St. Brown? Yes, you're still playing St. Brown. I get it. Sucks. It's frustrating. I had somebody ask me if you would drop Jaden Reed for Jacoby Myers today. I like Jacoby Myers rest of the season, but guys, bad weeks happen. You're not dropping St. Brown or Jaden Reed,
right?
To give that to somebody else, right? Now, in this scenario, I would go with Westbrook Akine over Khalil Shakir this week. Give me the big play. The Jaguars secondary, not great. Will Levis is letting it rip downfield. He makes mistakes. Give me the big playability. Shakir is capped. Like Matt said, he's a safer play. If you're going for safe, go Shakir. If you're going for upside, go with Westbrook Akine, in my opinion.
Yeah, Westbrook Akine for me. Yep.
I'm going Shakir.
I
don't know why, but I just...
God damn it, Matt.
Listen, I love the magic of Nick Westbrook Akine, but it just feels like this is the week where everyone plays him and he gets 2 targets and gooses you. Like I just, it's been so touchdown dependent, and I get he had the 8 targets last week, but only 3 catches. And for me, we talked the other night, Hoff, that the Jags are bad at everything. It doesn't matter what it is; they're bad at it. So I mean, Pollard could go wild. Calvin Ridley revenge game, he could go wild. Like, I don't know, man. I think that this is the week that Westbrook Akine is going to burn you. So I'm going to roll with Shakir.
Matt, my daughter just texted me and said, "Why do I hate Matt?" Because I yelled, "Damn it, Matt!" So I don't hate you, buddy. I'm just finding a reason to rib at you. That's all.
You can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. I know
I'll
it's
try,
all love.
but yeah, it's definitely all love for sure.
All right. Well, now that the Love Set Fest is over, Albert said,
Fuck
I
you,
think
Pete.
Penix starts next season, in my opinion.
He could.
He could.
He
I'm not
could- he
ready
could.
yet. I'm not ready yet to say it, but I could see it happening. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't.
Go ahead,
Good,
Dom.
Matt. Good. No, what do you
Now,
got?
Matt,
What do you got?
take the bull by the horns a little bit
Yeah,
here,
take the
man.
bull by horns.
I
Fuck
just-
me. Good.
Man, I'm riding the bull here. Here we go. It's definitely in the Falcons' range of outcomes to absolutely find a way to screw this up. I mean, we talked the other night about how this is one of the worst divisions, if not the worst division in football, and it's almost like no one really wants to win it. So I could totally see the Falcons find a way to lose it. Kirk kind of struggling down the stretch like he has the past 3 games, and if that does happen, then if Penix plays those last 2 weeks where he takes on Washington, whose secondary has sucked, and then he takes on Carolina, who is also suspect, there's a world where Penix kind of has some momentum going into the offseason, and we're talking about 36-year-old Kirk Cousins coming off a season where he was ho-hum and has a torn Achilles. So, I mean, it's certainly possible, but I think a lot of it rides on how the Falcons finish down the stretch.
Off.
Yeah, I do think while it's unconventional, while it's not the most logical, I think that the Falcons brought in Penix for a reason. And it was in case of emergency, here we go. And I think that Kirk Cousins is proving this is the in case of emergency, pull the handle. So I get it. The money spent, everything else. I get it. Draft pick compensation, what you could have gotten. All that's true. It doesn't negate any of it. But yeah, I think I could totally see this happening.
So-
real quick, Pete, before you go, I
Go
want to
ahead.
say one thing.
ahead.
Hoff, you mentioned a point right there of you get the money spent. Are we in no better time to just say cut bait when you know you're wrong? I mean, we already talked about Russell Wilson. We've talked about Daniel Jones. Like,
Bingo.
these teams are realizing that when you've made a mistake, you've got to move on, and you can't let it linger because all it does is hurt your future.
Yeah. And I think we're going to start to see, you gave the examples, but there are teams that are going to say, we screwed up here. This is us course correcting, and we might see that with the Falcons. I agree.
So
I agree.
here's what I will say.
It's not right.
and-
It does fuck you over in certain ways. Like Pete, you were dead on about like you could have gotten XYZ in the draft instead of Penix.
Sure.
So you're not wrong, but there's multiple ways to do it, I guess. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, here's what I will say. When you take a look here, this is the situation that the Falcons are in. I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but this is pretty much how it works. If you go to Spot Track and you look at the release dates, if they release Kirk Cousins, dead cap, $65 million. That's a pre-June 6th release. Okay.
That's a kick of the dick. Go on.
Now, post
You're eating
June,
ramen that night.
post June 1st release, they obviously the dead cap hits lower, 40 million this year, and then 25 million next year. Right. Now, the difference between the pre-June 1st and post-June 1st release is you don't get that cap savings until June 1st. So that, yes, if they do post-June 1st, they save more money, but they don't get that relief to spend on free agents until June of that offseason. So this is what it looks like if they cut Kirk at this point. If they were to do that, because unless they're going to put him on the shelf as a backup, or maybe he reworks the deal. But I mean, Kirk Cousins, we've seen how he negotiates his contracts. I don't know if he's in the business of giving money back. So that would be what I would say. And then,
incredible.
Yeah, his agent's done an awesome job. Now, next year, cap space wise, if you had to take a guess, how much cap space do you think they have available next season?
The Falcons?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 40 million.
Puff?
Yeah, I don't think Matt's far off. Yeah.
You're very far off. 7 million. That's what they have.
Well,
Now, they could
Probably
cut
better than the Saints, right?
Yeah, oh, God,
Negative
yeah.
40.
Saints
The
are in a
Saints
terrible
are
spot.
always knee deep in shit. You know.
The,
So,
the best thing that they could do is they could cut
wow,
Caleb
that's-
McGarry and save 14 million. And they could cut Grady Jarrett and save 16 million right there. That's close to that's about 30. Now, I mean, I'm not an NFL GM, but there are things to go. And spoiler, this offseason, I don't know who's going to be helping me, but we are going to do some segments on rebuilding a team through free agency and rebuilding teams through the draft.
Ooh,
We're gonna do
I'll be your friend
I don't know
on
if we'll
that.
do them live. Yeah, I don't know if we'll do them
Oh.
live. We might just do
Oh.
video and we'll do some short videos. But so stay tuned on that. That'll be something that we have going on this off season.
I'm in.
And Hoff is in, so there you go. Matt can join too. It depends what his
Absolutely.
schedule looks like.
Anything football related, I'm in.
Damn straight he can.
Off
Oh,
season's
man.
the best time of the year. Off season, I love off season because you just get there's so much hopium, so much possibilities.
That's what I was saying.
Now, when your team's a loser, when your team sucks, like mine and Matt's have, that's the off season's the best part because you don't have to see them play the games, so your mind can just imagine.
You've watched your team win in your lifetime.
I
have
know.
been born into nothing but misery.
Hey, those RG3 years were fun.
Those RG3 year.
Singular.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to kick a man while he's down.
You're
right,
trying to.
MVM.
Matt, by the way, Pete's very good at just kicking somebody while they're down, but trying to act innocent while he does it. But he'll fucking kick you right in the fucking stomach.
I was telling him the other day that I'm
Yeah,
just really thankful that you're here. You're such a great guy. Pete's
Nice
just
try.
been backstabbing, and it's not been great so far.
I mean, someone's got to be that guy.
What a dick.
He's on coach's side. I don't know what it is. It's something about Bo Nix.
Well,
Yeah, good guy, but there is something about Bo Nix. So.
All right, let's get to MVM. This is an impossible question for me. JSN, Jennings,
3
Rico,
beers, by the way.
Tracy, Braylon Allen, pick one. 3 beers. I'm still on number 1. My heart says Tyrone Tracy here. He's going up against the Saints. I get it. DK Metcalf may not play. JSN has pretty much been Mr. Consistent. You're getting around 14 to 16 points a week with JSN. So that would be my thing. If you want a safe play with strong upside, go JSN. If you want a player that could possibly win you your week, go Tyrone Tracy. You guys, what do you think?
Matt, what do you got?
I'm going JSN in this situation. I think he's the best play. I do agree with Pete that Tracy is not a bad play too, taking on the Saints. But right now, I just don't have a ton of belief in the Giants. But, he gets the volume, he gets the workload. But JSN's looked really good so far. I mean, he's been popping off since he got those 33 points against the Rams in week 9 or 10 or whatever week that was. And since then, he's played great. So I'm rolling JSN.
I'm going to go Rico Dowdle here.
Ooh.
Rico Dowdle's a play for me. I mean, Bengals have over the last 2 weeks, they are 9th in points allowed to the running back position. So yeah, I'd go there. I mean, last 2 weeks, 21.7, 43.6. Yeah, I'd go Rico Dowdle.
Broke the century mark for the Cowboys. Hit over 100 yards.
Uh,
How about that?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I lost my track. I do want to put this out there.
You were going to say you adore me.
I will admit Anthony was right. In the offseason, we talked JSN and Metcalf. JSN was the better value for sure. And honestly, at this point, has been the better player this year. So I will give Anthony that victory lap, and we won't talk about it again. JMW85
and never let him know that this happened.
Yes. Also going to see if I can pull Charbonnet off waivers. Yes, I would play Charbonnet before I play Izzy Ibakanda, whatever the heck his last name is. I don't know. We buy homes near you. 512. What?
Man.
What, Hoff? What?
You're just a disrespectful human being. But go
I'm the
on.
one that was arguing for that Izzy could be a.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember that clearly. I don't know.
Whatever.
Matt doesn't remember it either. Good. Here's the next question.
This wasn't today. This was 2 days ago.
See, Matt doesn't hear anything. This is why I love Matt. That's good. Yeah, we're good.
8-team non-PPR start one flex since Brees Hall is doubtful. Isaac Orlando, Jacoby Myers, Braylon Allen, or Rashad White. My other 2 running backs are Monty and Tony Pollard. I do have Tony Pollard as a running back 1 this week. He's my RB12. I did want. I should. Yeah. My running back. Actually, no. I think I have him as my RB15. I don't know. I have to relook at that. But I would start Braylon Allen over Garendo.
I would start Garendo over Braylon Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt?
Trent Williams is out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're right, and I get it. It's a good thing to bring up. That worries me more in terms of if Brock Purdy has to drop back and pass. As it does the running game. I get it, offensive lineman. I get it. It's still significant, but it worries me more so in terms of passing than running.
Sure.
So
I'm going with Allen in this situation. But I think the difference between Garendo and Allen, not too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, yes, I just want to say, if you watch my running back video, I did have Tony Pollard at RB12. I was just clarified to make sure. Okay. Elaine, what's going on, Elaine? I like the picture. Said, should I start Braylon Allen over Tyrone Tracy? It's close, but I would start Tyrone Tracy over Braylon Allen.
Tracy over Allen.
hold on a second. No, I'm looking at
Go the
something.
other way. Go the other way.
No, don't be an asshole. No, I actually think I would go Tyrone Tracy. Yeah.
Well, if you didn't go Tyrone Tracy, then you're pretty much saying Garendo over Tracy and Braylon Allen this week. That's because you said Garendo over Braylon Allen as well.
Yep.
So.
Well.
All right. Hoff. Trone Force pick Braylon Allen up last week when the news broke about Brees' knee. My RB room is looking strong for her playoffs. Barkley, Chase Brown, Monty, and Braylon. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get much better than that. Caden said, do you think Swift is going to play? I have the injury reports pulled up. I mean, he's listed as questionable.
Pete,
yeah.
Be careful.
I do got to be careful. I don't want to spread any misinformation around.
I fucking hate you.
I don't think Swift's going to play. He didn't practice this today. He's got a quad injury. Didn't practice. I don't think he's playing. Matt, you think he's playing?
I'm kidding. When I say I hate you, that actually means I love you.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if he plays. I wouldn't bank on him.
Matt?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play either.
Yeah.
By the way, DJ Moore also has a quadricep injury.
Yeah, he missed the last 2 days.
I'm saying it's just funny they both have the same injury and both didn't practice.
Oh,
so.
You think they talked about it?
Maybe business decision. Maybe business.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah, sure.
Me either. The way that locker room is. Benjamin Holler said, start 2, Gus, Bigsby, or Brooks. I'm going to start Bigsby and Brooks.
Yeah, I am too. More so my question, and I'm sorry, Matt, you can give an answer, but like the people who have had Chuba all year, like what's our barometer of being worried? But Matt, go ahead.
I mean, I think you should be slightly worried, but I think this is just going to turn to involving him more and more each week. I do think Chuba's going to get his opportunity. He's proven that. They gave him the contract. That's not going to change too much. In this situation, I'm going Brooks and Gus. I don't know how many more times I can say it. The Jags are bad at everything. Like, I don't know what's the bright side there other than 2025.
It's fair. That is fair.
Matt, who hurt you besides the Jacksonville Jaguars?
His name is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Whenever we're ready for the meeting, the support group, I'm there.
We're cool. We're cool here.
CY said with
Huh.
Neighbors and Brees out, flex need one running back and two. Need one wide receiver, two running backs, and a flex. Is he asking for a flex here too? A flex. Need. Am I wrong? Am I messing this up?
Wait, hold on. With Neighbors and Brees out, a flex, need one wide receiver, and yeah, you're right. It's just tough to read. I think it needs one of each.
One wide receiver, two running backs, though.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going with.
yeah.
1, 2. He gave us 5 players. Let's just give him 3. I would go with Braylon Allen, Isaac Guerrero, and Tyrone Tracy. But he needs one wide receiver, so I would go with Braylon Allen and Tracy, and then I would go with Amari Cooper. And if we are reading this wrong and you need to go with a flex, I would start Isaac Guerrero as well.
Yeah, Braylon, yeah, same picks as you. That's where I'd go.
Tracy Allen Cooper.
Tracy Allen Cooper, yeah. Okay, that's what I said too.
I think I might go Cooks if I had to do the extra flex, though.
Over Guerrero?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Dahomas said full PPR, start 1, D-Hop, Jalen Warren, Elijah Moore, no Tillman or Charbonnet if K9 doesn't play. With no Tillman, got it. So Elijah Moore with no Tillman or Charbonnet. I'm starting Charbonnet if K9 doesn't play. Out of these guys, if K9 does play, I will go with Elijah Moore.
Charbonnet or otherwise D-Hop.
Thought you were going to Elijah.
I'm with Hoff here. Charb and D-Hop. Back in good graces. Let's go.
I am shocked because
bam, my man. That's it.
I am shocked because Hoff said you said Elijah Moore the other day about somebody. I thought you liked him this week, but
You know what? I'm sick of your shit, Pete. Get him the next question.
Sheffy said, "Would you start Otten or Kelsey this week?"
Yeah,
I'm gonna start
go.
I'm gonna start
Oh,
Kelsey.
sorry.
I'll start Kelsey. I'm gonna start Kelsey. I'm not risking. I'm starting Kelsey.
I was gonna say I am on the road less traveled, but I would go Otten this week. Me
Fair.
personally.
I
get it.
really
It's not
torn.
popular.
What did you
I'm
say,
really
Matt?
torn between this. Like I want to say Otten, I really do, but I think if I was truly faced with this situation, I'd start Kelsey.
Do you want to know why you want to say Otten?
Go ahead.
Because you think it's the right answer.
I do. I think you're right. I mean, you're just the right guy.
Nah, well, don't go that far. Just I'm right now.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. What are we at? We're at the hour 22 mark. I know Hoff did start a little bit earlier, so it's up to Hoff really if he's burning out.
I've been burnt out about 20 minutes ago. So
well, all right. Well, we have a decent amount of questions, so let's just try to get through them quicker. We'll try to give less analysis. Patrick said Tua, Kyler, or Herbert this week. I like Kyler, if not Kyler, Tua, but Herbert I would not start over either.
Agreed.
I would start Herbert over both of them.
With no lad against Kansas City in Kansas City?
Yep, I would. I personally think this. You look at the one thing maybe I'd say Tua over Herbert only because no sauce. But in terms of Kyler, we talked about this yesterday, Pete. Like, I don't like this matchup. I think this is both quarterbacks stink in terms of Kyler and Geno. So yeah, that's where I'd roll.
I just wanted to flash
Yeah,
this because I thought it was funny.
Fucking.
Matt said I dropped McCormick for Allen. Smart. Yes. I think it's fine. I think I like McCormick this year. I like what I've seen from McCormick, but I prefer McCormick over Allen.
Yep.
Okay. Matt, fine. You go with that?
Yeah.
Noah Davis said start 2 at running back, Guerrero, Allen, or Tracy. I feel like we've answered this a bunch of times already.
Yeah.
I know Allen and Tracy for me. I think we all agree. Except Hoff. I think Hoff likes Guerrero over Allen. Benjamin said Exhibit A, Daniel Jones. I'm assuming that was probably in regards to the Kirk Cousins conversation from before.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, they were talking Daniel Jones here, so I would assume. Glenn Smith said Ladd or Addison with the questionable tag on Ladd playing Sunday.
Addison.
So
Well,
let
I'm
me get
just
this
saying.
straight. Let me get this straight. You would start Justin Herbert, but you wouldn't start Ladd.
No,
over
because I
Addison?
don't. Okay, just calm down. I don't think Ladd's playing this week. I don't think Ladd's playing this week. We literally saw.
Oh well, okay,
we
yeah.
lit-
Ladd,
no.
okay, you know what? You're right.
You-
Ladd's
no,
playing
okay,
at
here we go.
nighttime. You're right. I'm sorry.
You want to ask me a question to be funny, but then when I give an answer, you're like, no, don't worry about it. Don't give an answer. Don't give an answer. Nah, don't fuck the answer. I'm saying when we saw Ladd McConkey last week, yeah, he got like 35,000 targets, but in the second half, he was literally catching the ball and trying to fall in a way that
Yeah, I
he
know.
wasn't landing on his shoulder. He's
This is
hurt.
true.
It's not great, Bob. I'd go Addison.
I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna skip this question.
Golly,
I would go with that.
man,
I
you
would
know?
go with Addison too. I don't want to risk
Oh,
it.
you, Bray, you.
No, because I honestly I didn't read that Ladd was playing Sunday night. So to be honest, that's pretty much
My daughter's
fucked
over
that up.
here. She said she hates you.
good.
Right, Emma? You hate him? You do. You do. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll
Christian
talk about it later.
Christian said, "Love effed me last night. I have Vikings kicker. Should Chargers D and Chargers D? Should I look elsewhere?" Number one, I do want to say, Christian, I am sorry. I know I told you last night to start Jordan Love. I don't remember who it was over. I remember he was in here, and I know I told him to start Love last night. I don't know if Hoff was in agreement, but I will take the accountability on that.
I probably was. No, I probably was. I'll take accountability. I probably was. I liked Love last night. I listen. I think whoever kicks for the Vikings, I think they produce. I still think he's the guy. If John Parker Roma plays, I think he produces. But whoever kicks for them is fine. So yeah,
Man,
Matt, what says you on all this?
I just want to know who's gonna kick. That's what I want to know.
I know it's fucking obnoxious.
It's driving me crazy.
O'Connell spoke to the media today around 3 o'clock today, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and he said he made it sound like everything's going okay with Reichert. Like, sounds like he's going to kick. He had a good week of practice, but they're not going to announce it until tomorrow. So,
Very frustrating.
yeah, it's not ideal.
Okay. All right. And then Chargers D, yeah, I'm fine starting Chargers defense depending on who you have available out there. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions, but I'm okay starting them.
By the way, Pete, I'm ready to end this whenever you are, so it's up to you, not me.
I'm fine. I came on late and my in-laws just left, so I have time. I mean, Matt, it's up to you. How are you feeling, buddy?
I'm rolling.
Yeah, well then maybe
This is
I'll
this is a prime time slot for Matt. I mean, Friday night. He's never been with us on a Friday night. This is we got 21 people here on YouTube still watching. They're dropping like flies right now as they're hearing us talk about this.
I will scoot
you're
out after
upsetting me.
another question or two so I can choke my kids.
All right, yeah,
So.
that's fine. Access MIA said Titans defense or Cardinals. I like the Cardinals. I just I don't know. Home team. I'm rolling with the Cards. I don't know if you guys have a feel. If you're just going with what I. All right, that's it. Give them the Titans. All right,
the Titans. Who do they play?
Mac Jones and the Jags. I
Jags.
know.
Fair.
I get it. It's totally fair. It's totally fair. Emiliano said start Kyler or Baker. Crazy for considering Jacoby Myers for CeeDee Lamb. Also have Kupp and Evans. Hoff, since you are leaving soon, why don't you take this first?
I don't think it's crazy to consider Jacoby over CD. I think if you look at name value, yes, it is crazy. But if you look at what they're giving you, if you look at the injuries and everything so forth, I don't think it's crazy. So I think I'm okay with that. In terms of starting Kyler or Baker, I'm going Baker. I don't think either give you a great fantasy matchup, but again, I referenced this earlier. I talked to Pete. I think the Cardinals and the Seahawks have some rough fantasy matchups here, especially at quarterback. So, yeah, that's where I'd roll.
Okay. Matt?
I think I'm still going to go with Kyler here, but I do think it's pretty close. As far as it goes for Jacoby Myers for CD, I'm not doing that. I'm going to roll with CD unless I'm told otherwise via the injury report. I have a hard time benching CD for Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go choke my kids, but
all right.
Hey,
Awesome.
see you off.
Fun.
Later, buds.
Ready.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately am starting I am starting Kyler this week. I prefer Baker though, to be honest. I don't know. Even with weapons down, Baker looked phenomenal this year, so I like Baker. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm starting CeeDee Lamb over Myers. So, Jimmy T said Brian Thomas or Garrett Wilson. I like Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, give me Garrett Wilson here too. I'm not going to trust Mac Jones to figure this out.
We buy homes near you. Said thanks, fellas. So y'all like Garendo or Braylon Allen over Jacoby Myers this week? I like Braylon Allen if Hull doesn't play. I'm fine starting Garendo over Jacoby Myers if Hull does play and not starting Allen.
Completely agree.
Okay. Jared, hey guys, I asked Hoff this. What are your thoughts? Freiermuth and Noah Gray this week and rest of the season PPR. Mahomes is my quarterback. I'm still going to stick with Freiermuth. I mean, there's not a ton of weapons on that Steelers. Rest of the season, I prefer Freiermuth. There's not a ton of weapons on that Steelers offense. And I know Noah Gray's looked good, but Pacheco's coming back. Looks healthy. He's getting healthy. More weapons. So I prefer him rest of the season. I don't really have a lean this week, though. I guess I would go with Freiermuth just because I think the opportunities are there, but I can understand going Noah Gray.
Yeah, I don't know if Jared asked this question on our stream, but we had the same one. It was Freiermuth and Noah Gray.
Probably him.
And I kind of got roasted from Tyler and Coach because I told Tyler to start Pitts over Noah Gray this past weekend, and that did not work out in his favor. So, but regardless, I'm still going with Freiermuth. I think the Noah Gray story has been fun. What is it, 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns in the last several weeks? But for the most part, I mean, the Chiefs are running a lot more 2 tight end sets, and I get that involvement, but I just feel like it's going to come back down to earth at some point for Noah Gray. So I'm rolling with Freiermuth. Give me the known guy, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, they have the same amount of touchdowns on the year, and Freiermuth has supposed to be the guy. Noah Gray is not the best tight end on his team, but Freiermuth 18.8 points last week, 9, 3, 4. 9, 3, and 10 the last 4 weeks. I'm going with Freiermuth. He's the better player, and I'm just going to stick with that. But yeah. Derek said pick 2 PPR, Lad, BTJ, Garrett Wilson, Jacoby Myers this week. Win to get into the playoffs. Well, good luck.
No pressure.
Garrett Wilson, no pressure on us either. Garrett Wilson and I would start Jacoby Myers over BTJ and Lad. I know it's crazy, and I know you're not going to like that, but I like the matchup against the Bucks, and Lad plays at night, so I don't know if he's going to play. I don't want to risk that.
Yeah, the Lad injury is a little bit scary, and you mentioned him playing at night, so you're not going to exactly have time on your hand for that one too. So definitely Garrett Wilson, Jacoby Myers versus BTJ. I don't know. Maybe I'm a doubter. I'm just not sold on starting Jacoby Myers. I think that while I am roasting Mac Jones nonstop on this show tonight, I think I'm going to roll with BTJ. If I'm trying to get in the playoffs, I'm going to go with the player that can win me the week. And I don't think that Jacoby Myers is that. Brian Thomas Jr. could absolutely win the week. I get he could also lose you the week, but that's just how I play the fantasy game.
Hey, that's totally fair. For what it's worth, Jacoby Myers, last 2 weeks, 15.7, 22 points. The last 2 weeks, 10 catches, 121, 6 for 97, 11 targets, and 15. The one thing about Aiden O'Connell is he hyper focuses on his guys at times, and he will risk and risk it and throw the ball. So, but I totally get your point. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is one catch away from breaking it every time he touches the football. And so that's enticing.
I won't spend a ton of time on it, but did you see the
No, go
clip
ahead.
where they kind of broke down Brian Thomas Jr., what could have been for him last week? I mean, and there's a real world where he would have had 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like,
he did have that. They did overthrow him on that like 75 yarder. And I love Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, there's a world in Dynasty where you can get him at a discount right now.
Absolutely.
Because somebody's trying to contend. Yeah. I'm all for that. Jay Goodman coming in here said can only start 2. Chuba, Pacheco, Charbonnet, Braylon Allen. Thanks so much. I hate Chuba this week. Gets a tough matchup against the Eagles. Honestly, if Hall is out, I'm starting. If Hall and Kenneth Walker are out, I'm starting Chuba and I'm starting Charbonnet and Braylon Allen over both. If Walker is in, I would start Pacheco and Braylon Allen, and vice versa. I would mix and match, obviously, depending on who's in. If the starter's in for either the games for Charbonnet and Braylon Allen, I would put in Pacheco over that. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think that makes total sense, and I'm in agreement with you. Give me Charb and Allen. We'll see what happens with the Kenneth Walker news, and if Kenneth Walker plays, then Pacheco for me too.
Yeah, I mean, Chuba and Pacheco are both in timeshares in a way. Pacheco probably breaks out of that timeshare at some point. Chuba probably as well, but they also have tough matchups. So they're tough matchups in timeshares. So yeah. Brandon Hunt said, hello, fellas. I'm really struggling with who to play. I have a wide receiver 2 spot open and a flex spot open. My options are Tracy, Mooney, and Shakir. I think we're in agreement. You're starting Tracy. It's really between Mooney and Shakir. I like Mooney. Actually, I like Shakir. Sorry. I like Shakir. I liked Mooney. I liked Addison over Shakir, but I like Shakir over Mooney. So give me Tracy and Shakir.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. Give me Mooney, but total agreement. Tracy for sure is going to be in my lineup. I'm still kind of floating back and forth. I know we've talked a lot about Mooney and Shakir tonight, and I can't get over Shakir's capped floor. And, right now it's just the time where I'm trying to win weeks, and Mooney has proven this year to be a guy that can get the ball, move it downfield, chain mover, and big plays. And, he's kind of surprised a lot of us. I get Kirk struggled so far in the last 4 or 5 weeks, but I think I'm going to roll with Mooney.
Totally fair. Trone said, do you guys think Tua will have a good game with Sauce out and CJ Mosley on IR? Yeah, I do. I like this offense this week in Miami. No Sauce, Mosley out. And honestly, Jets are dead men walking right now, and they also have been awful traveling to Miami the last few years. So, yeah, I think Tua has a good game.
Yeah, Pete mentioned it earlier. Miami plays better at home. They're going back. It's a must-win game for them, and the Jets have been in absolute turmoil. The defense is banged up. The offense has enough struggles as it is. So give me Tua.
Okay. Christian said it was Love or Mahomes, but all good. I appreciate it. Yeah. Honestly, looking back on it, I could still see Love ending up having more points than Mahomes scores this week against the Chargers. But I make that call 9 times out of 10. If you tell me the situation, Love missed freaking Tucker Kraft on a walk-in touchdown, and then Josh Jacobs had a touchdown too that they called a penalty on. I don't know if it was holding or what it was. You should have had 3 touchdowns last night. So tough week, but what are you gonna do?
And he still scored almost 15, right? I think it was like 14 and a half points or something like that. So
he had 200, he had 30 rushing yards and a touchdown. So yeah, I mean, that's probably around 15 depending on your format. Trone said picked up Aubrey to roll with during the playoffs. Do you think Reichert would be a better option? Well, Hoff just left. But Yeah, Hoff likes Reichert. I couldn't really answer that for you, but what I will tell you is if you go to Hoff's kicker video and you leave this comment, he will go ahead and answer it. And you don't even have to watch the video. You could just go ahead and just leave a comment, and he'll get back to you. So I don't think me and Matt are qualified for that question.
Nope, not qualified. I have one kicker league, and it's Hoff makes that decision for me.
Yeah. Matt Tate said Garendo is catching a touchdown this weekend. I could see it. If I pull up the stats against the Bears are 10th against running backs. They've given up 116 rushing yards a game to running backs, but they haven't given up a single receiving touchdown to the running back position. So I don't know about catching a touchdown, but he very likely can go punch one in, as they've given up 10 on the ground this year. And I believe they're inside the top 6 for touchdowns allowed this season. So,
yeah. If you
do
said
you think
scores
he
a
catches one?
touchdown, I'd be more in line. But catching one, I'm not certain about that. I mean, we'll have to see what his involvement's actually going to look like.
Yeah, we got 2 questions here, and then we're pretty much done. It's 8:20 my time. I mean, unless somebody comes in last minute, but we'll probably wrap up. MVM said Herbert, Levis, Wilson, or Winston this week. Call me crazy. I know Levis is a hot name right now that everyone keeps talking about. I'm okay starting Will Levis this week. It's scary though. It is really scary. I think I'm still going to start Justin Herbert because he can get it done with his legs, but I'm okay starting Levis if you're scared.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting here looking at it, and I don't want to play Winston taking on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I mean, that just feels like you're asking for something to go wrong. Mm-hmm. Certainly, like you said, Will Levis has made more plays in the last couple of weeks. Looked a lot better, looked more comfortable in the pocket. Maybe sitting helped him out a little bit. And I know I've also said it's the Jags. So the Jags are bad at everything, and you can take advantage of that. But Levis is known to make a few mistakes, throw some interceptions, fumble the ball. I think I'm with you. I might just go with Herbert as the safe floor here. But, I mean, can't blame you if you want to play Levis.
I mean, Herbert burned the shit out of me last week, so I get it. Brandon said it's full PPR if that changes anything. In terms of Brandon's question, this was this one with Tracy, Mooney, and Shakir. I'm still going Shakir and Tracy. I don't know if it being full PPR changes that for you, Matt. The PPR standard, it doesn't make much of a difference for me when I make starts every week.
I mean, I get a little bit more from just being the slot guy with Shakir, but I'll probably just stick with my answer.
Okay. Matt Tate said thoughts on the Eagles tight end this week. That would be Grant Calcaterra. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on him are I don't want to play him. He gets Carolina, though, 32nd against the tight end position in fantasy. But Devonta Smith is back. Saquon Barkley's back. They could be running away with this game. And I'm not hitching my wagon to this guy this week for sure.
Yeah. Grant Calcaterra could be a cool story. But I'm with you. I'm not going to start him in my lineup, especially not this week and what's on the line.
I mean, for what it's worth, he's played 39, 37, 37, 27 snaps the last 4 weeks and doesn't have a catch in those weeks. And then routes run, he ran 10, 8, 8, and 1. So it's not like he didn't run any routes in those snaps, and he has 0 catches in those weeks. So there's got to be better options.
Yeah, and I think your best point that you made is they're playing Carolina at home. This game could be over in the first quarter. Like it could look a lot like Washington playing Tennessee last week, where it's 28-0, and you blink.
And this is an Eagles team that hasn't had a bye. Their bye, I'm sorry, was early in the season. I think it was a week 5 bye. I mean, they may not. The NFC is tight right now. I mean, there's a bunch of 2-loss teams in the NFC. That one seed, they might not be able to bench their starters at all this year. So again, I'm not saying, I don't want to be disrespectful with this because I think the Panthers maybe can be competitive, but I mean, this is a chance where maybe they might not play the starters after the third quarter. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that, but there's got to be better starts. There's got to be someone else out there.
Agreed.
So. Couple more here. Juan said, what do y'all think about MVS as a flex? I mean, yeah, I would need to know who else you have before I fire him up.
Yep. I agree. I mean, you're chasing the touchdown, man, and I can't blame you, but I want to know who else I can pick from.
Yeah, me too. Ed said, I have Pacheco on my bench with B-Rob, Jonathan Taylor on a bye. Should I pick up Braylon Allen if Kenneth Walker doesn't play and drop Pacheco since Allen has an easier schedule, or keep Pacheco with
That's a tough situation, man, if you really think about that. I mean, if you're dropping Pacheco, who should get worked back into the fold, I expect him to take over the job. But if Allen is the starter this week, then that's a lot of points that you're leaving out there on the wire.
Yeah, but then you're dropping Pacheco for the wire.
Yeah,
that's
tough.
Here's my thing. You have Jonathan Taylor and B-Rob. Okay. Odds are you're probably starting them and Kenneth Walker. All three of them probably over Pacheco, who has a hard schedule rest of the season. So to me, if you need to win this week, go pick up Braylon Allen. I'm fine dropping Pacheco. Is it hard? Does it suck? I would be trying everything I could to find another way to not have to drop him. But odds are B-Rob and Jonathan Taylor are the guys you're playing, or Kenneth Walker or Allen, who has a great schedule rest of the season. So to me, I mean, you got to win this week. Like, I don't know what your record looks like, but I'm assuming you need to win. And if you need to win, go put Allen out there. If you don't feel that comfortable, all right, then take a 0 at that spot. If you know you're going to make the playoffs and it doesn't worry you, then fine, take a 0 if you don't want to drop Pacheco. Somebody's going to pick him up, Allen up though, and Allen has a good schedule rest of the season. So to me, I'm fine dropping Pacheco.
Yeah, agreed. I'm shocked he's on waivers though, to be honest.
Well, Allen's on waivers. That's
what I'm saying. I'm shocked he's still on waivers.
I'm a little shocked too. Yeah. Jared said, final one for you guys. We have 2 more. So we'll get to Jared and Matt, and then we're going to get out of here. Jared said, final one for you guys. Thanks. Vidal, Madison, or McCormick. This is easy. Give me McCormick.
Yeah, McCormick. Although it would be nice to see a little bit out of Vidal. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but give me McCormick.
Yeah, me too. And then Matt Tate said, is Ferguson playing this week? I think he is.
Logged to full practice today, so I would expect he plays.
Look at that. Full participant. So looks like we're good to go. But that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much. This was a great show. We still have 20 people here watching on YouTube. Had a lot of people watching on Twitter. Ed did say I do need to win this week, and it does suck because I've been holding him. If you need to win this week, yeah, like we said, go ahead and drop and check them. Do what you got to do, especially because Kenneth Walker might not play and you're missing your 2 studs in B-Rob and Jonathan Taylor. Go pick up Braylon Allen. It sucks, but it is what it is. And yeah, have a great night as well. Best of luck. That's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good week and good luck. Enjoy championship games tomorrow. Enjoy the games on Sunday. We'll see you Sunday morning, and have a good one.